You are here for a specific purpose. Feel the sureness that keeps pulling you back to find clarity. It was not a fluke or a digital code that set this note in your way. Something inside you has been hunting for days, weeks, or maybe even months for a sign that can finally quiet the worry in your soul. You have felt solitary in this internal battle with a power you cannot reveal to everyone, fearing they might judge you or claim that you are being dramatic. But what if I told you that this steady feeling is not a heavy load but the clear rhythm of your own spirit recognizing its reality? Today, the divine power wants to give you a soft but direct proof of something you have often sensed. Out of worry, old pains, or simply trying not to dream too much, you chose to hush that inner voice. Yet, the life energy knows that you need to hear this to take the next move on your track. What you are about to hear will help you grasp why your soul acts so strongly to this person. It explains why you feel a vast peace even when there is silence or gap between you, and why your inner compass, which never fibs, refuses to go away. Even when your logical brain tries to talk you out of it, listen well. What follows will show you why this love that shakes your heart so deeply carries a worth far larger than you can think. This is not a stray meeting or a brief chance. What you are going through is recognition on a deep level, a link that goes past the physical and the mind. It touches the strings of your fate. It is the sound of something your soul recalls, even if your mind cannot name it yet. You have tried to halt it, to distract yourself, or to shut the door. Yet something you cannot explain keeps dragging you back to the same spot. The deep feeling that this individual did not come into your life by luck is the heart of this note. The universe wants you to know you are not losing your mind. You are not mixed up, and you are not making things up. What you feel comes from a deep spot that the source uses to speak to you when you stop listening only with your ears and begin to listen with your soul. It is not a trick of your brain but the truth of who you are. But how can one tell real love from basic desire? That is the big puzzle that bothers many. Am I truly linked, or just stuck in a habit or a fear of being solo? The mind, hurt by old scars, will always call your feeling risky or silly. But a soul bond has clear markers that do not come from being needy, but from a pure spot. The first marker is peace in silence. When you are truly linked to your goal through another person, you feel a strange calm even when you are far apart. It is not a peace born of being physically close, but a deep inner quiet that comes from your soul's memory. Your innermost being knows that this power is safe, and that no matter what happens on the outside, the bond itself is never in peril. This peace is the voice of your gut whispering to you that what is meant to be will remain. Do you feel that with everyone? Of course not. You know very well that this does not happen with most folks. You sense that this time everything is unique. The second marker is the quick waking up of your true self. This special person has sparked something within you, gifts, moods, or parts of yourself you didn't know were there, qualities that have long been asleep, feelings that only show up when your soul sees something familiar. It is as if this bond acts like a match, forcing you to grow and see your own worth. This feeling touches an old record, a silent memory that pushes you to become the best version of yourself. The power you feel is not a mental trick, but the stamp of a shared goal that joins you in this world. The third marker is the odd strength of the feeling. You are surprised by how deep and steady it is. You have tried to see it as a fear of being lonely or a simple urge, but deep down you know it is none of those. Needing someone loses its force over time. Fear of being alone leaves when you get busy. Yet this feeling stays even when everything seems to go against it. This steady feeling is the talk of your soul, refusing to lock a door that has not yet been finished. What you feel is real. You have neither dreamt it nor made it up. This link was allowed by a higher force, Nothing that comes from fate enters your life to ruin you. It comes to shift you, to wash and toughen you. If that is so firm, why then has the world allowed the gap? Fate makes no errors. What has been sown in your heart cannot be wiped out. It does not get thin or wear away. No matter how big the gap, how deep the silence, or how much you or the other human try to move on, there are links that people try to force that fail, and there are links that simply cannot snap. This person holds a special spot in your tale. It is not because of your whim, but because of a power bigger than you, a map moving beneath the top layer. The higher mind has long ruled that this link serves a bigger goal of growth that must occur. What this person has meant in your life was no stray meeting. Even if your brain tries to fool you and say it was only a tiny part, deep down you know that you cannot finish this book. The reason is simple. It is not done. It is not a finished tale, but a paused one. The mess, the hurt, or the quiet time are not signs of a stop, but of getting ready. Both had to grow, fix old scars, and shift on the inside to hold the steady bond that fate has mapped for you. The universe does not join half spirits, it joins whole folks. You have shifted, and so has the other person. What seems like a huge gap is just a room for growth for the global energy. The higher force does not look at just this second, but at the finish of the story, and at that end point. This person already has their chair. One you cannot view yet, because your track has not fully opened up. The world has already seen everything, and it talks to you today so that you do not make the blunder of thinking this feeling is just a daydream. This bond is not a mistake or a penalty. It was built to teach you to love without dread, to grow your awareness, and to grasp that true love does not wilt. It shifts. It scrubs itself in distance and returns clearer and tougher than ever before. The world would not leave you in this steady mess if it had not placed the truth of this bond in your heart. So do not doubt, because doubt is the biggest foe of clarity. It is what causes you to ruin your own steps and to pull away from the fact you have long carried within you. And to see how fate prepares the meeting, we must view what this time truly means. We have seen what you feel is real. Your gut does not lie. This link is marked by fate. But for the human brain, it is tough to grasp that something so true can bring so much hurt and distance. Here lies the deeper logic of fate. It does not work by a human clock, but by the speed of growth. Silence, gap, or stops are not penalty, but a start of the soul's track. Imagine two folks meeting before they are ready. The meeting would be chaotic, hurting, and bad. The power would be too loud, and instead of fixing things, they would harm each other. Higher power does not allow such a vital bond to die in a mess. That is why the pause is an act of love. This time that you view as being left alone is in fact a time for your mind to expand. It is the stage in which both of you are on separate roads, not to forget each other but to make yourselves better alone. It is a pact made on a higher floor. We stay apart until each of us has mended enough to carry the weight of this bond without snapping. The pause exists so that both of you can drop old habits and needs that stop pure love from appearing. For you, the listener, this pause is a needed break to build a firm bond with yourself. If you needed this person to feel whole, love would turn into a trap when they come back. Fate teaches you to find wholeness within yourself. The world tells you, I don't need you tied up. I need you free and sturdy. That is why distance is a test. It forces you to see and mend your greatest inner dreads, the fear of being solo or the fear of not being enough. As long as you do not fix these feelings of lacking something, you will continue to find bonds that show the same flaw. This time apart helps to break that loop. The pause has made you look at your dark side and forced you to face it without anything to hide behind. Life has told you you cannot fill your hollow spots with another person. You must fill them first with yourself. Only then, when this person returns, can they add to you, not finish you. Maturing does not mean waiting calmly. It means turning the waiting time into inner work. As time goes by, the world asks you not to stay in doubt or dread, but to use this time to lift your energy, mend old ways, and scrub the mirror of your heart. The person who returns will not come back to the version of you that was shaky, but to the version that has found its own worth. Fate does not want you to stand still, but to become the sturdy, aware person who can manage the depth of this link. This is a time of cleaning. The love that comes from fate must go through a test of mending, and this pause is that test. It melts away everything false like dread and worry. In the end, only the pure core of the bond stays. When that returns, there will be no more room for games or fleeing. The world gives you during this pause the most mighty tool of all, your own power. It teaches you to trust the path and to let go of trying to rule the end. When you grasp this pause as a deal between spirits, it frees you from the dread of having to force things. You simply need to become the best version of yourself. The trick is not to wait for the other person to shift, but not to waste this chance to shift yourself. Every day in this pause is a gift, a chance to sharpen your energy to love yourself more and to become a magnet for true, firm love. That is the job fate has given you during this quiet time. But what does this growing truly mean? You have the power to turn this pause into the floor of a firm future. This quiet time is not a penalty, but a golden prize. How you use this time decides the quality of your future bond. Fate does not want you to just wait for a wonder. It calls on you to use your own power and create a solid base. The first big lesson is letting go. You must grasp that letting go does not mean forgetting someone. It means freeing the other person from the duty of making you happy. When you make your joy depend on someone else, you give away your power, and every bond then becomes foggy by fear. Letting go is an act of faith. It means giving the link to the world and saying, if this is meant for me, it will return through awareness, not through me hunting it. This letting go creates an energy of freedom that pulls things in. When you stop chasing, you become the power that draws. The second job is mending the feeling of not having enough. True love is not a cloth for your cuts, but a way to grow your wholeness. If this link has made you doubt yourself, then the world has split you so that you can see those cuts. Now you must love yourself totally. You must become your own source of value and safety. Every choice that aids your inner peace brings you closer to what you truly deserve. You must build your inner home, a place of calm that no outside noise can reach. Peace is not the lack of problems, but the presence of being awake. When you build this within yourself, your energy stays firm. You stop living in dread or panic. And the rule of making things happen is simple. You only draw what matches your energy. When you feel full, you will draw fullness. Your job is to become so whole that the presence of this person is a lovely gift, but not a need. Taking back your power also means acting as if you already know the truth. If the world shows you that this person is your fate, why would you act out of worry? Do not beg for notes. Do not hunt them. Every act born of worry is a denial of the truth. Instead, stay calm and sturdy. Act with the knowledge that everything is moving in your favor. The quiet in your soul is now the most mighty thing you can do. You are the creator of your world. The true power of this stage lies in letting go of the dread of losing something. Dread of losing someone leads to holding on too tight, and holding on too tight pushes folks away. You must reach a point where your faith in your own worth is so sturdy that the thought of losing this person does not snap you. Only when you are free from that dread can you love and draw from a place of freedom. Love that comes from freedom is pure and true. This process of growing is the base for the link to last. The person who returns to your life will not be the same, and neither should you be. You are meant to become a tower of light that no longer needs an outside spark to shine. Building this inner base is now your biggest job. As you build your inner home, you must know this work does not happen alone. Even if you do not see it, the same power that moves you is also working on the other side. It is time to grasp which forces are acting on the other person and why their silence is not forgetting you but the start of an waking. The quiet time is not a one-way process. The creative power is also at work within the other person, and their trip is often just as deep as yours. The silence you get from this person is not because they don't care, but because of an inner fight. They have grown weary of acting like they are over you. Their ego, the part that dreads being open and near, has built walls where fate wanted to build a bridge. Now the world uses silence to pull down those walls stone by stone. In this stage, the other person faces a choice they cannot dodge. The world has taken away the toys they once used to feel busy. Being alone has become a mirror that forces them to look at their dread of getting close and their old cuts. The ego is the biggest foe of soul links. It whispers that being open is weak and that it is safer to stay solo. But the world accepts no fibs. That is why the world keeps showing them that hiding their feelings fixes nothing. The loneliness they feel is not peace, but a spot where nothing else works anymore. They try to fill the gap with work or fun, but the empty feeling stays. This empty feeling is the part within them that only fits with your link. The world sends them memories and signs to remind them. They try to explain it away, but their dreams and feelings whisper your name. What they feel is not just a body pull. It is a silent recognition showing them that what they share with you is one of a kind. Fate sends them these thoughts not to harm them, but to remind them of the good things they lost when they chose dread. Their ego fights against their soul. Their soul knows that the link is real, but their ego fights coming back. The world is now working to melt this fight, softening their dread and breaking the old views that stop them from accepting this link. This process is slow but needed so that the return is done with a clear mind. Both stand at a turning point. This person is getting to the moment when the hurt of living without you becomes bigger than the hurt of their pride. When that moment comes, their act will be a deep gesture of truth. It will be the admission that they never could rule the power of this link. The return will be a surrender to the map of fate. In this moment of deep bond, I ask you to do something very simple. Tell me what sign you have most often seen about this person. Maybe it is a dream, a random meeting, or a song. Trust the path and share your sign. Recall, this person is now being made ready to return with the clarity that this link needs. Fate allows no half-hearted paths. When they return, it will be with a sure mind about what they want and what you mean to them. Do not focus on the time that goes by, but on the shift happening. The world is sending both of you the lessons needed to make the reunion last. But how can you know that all these feelings and signs are not just your own brain? The world speaks to you and sends signs you cannot skip. Yet, you must learn to tell the fact from a wish. The human mind is mighty but can be fooled, especially when it is hurt. How do I know that these feelings are not just my ego holding on to something that is over? The answer lies in how fate feels. A wish or a trick of the mind feels like dread and a need for rule. It wants to force things or beg. When you are just dreaming things, you are the only one doing the work and you feel tired and mixed up. A real sign from the world, however, feels like the world is acting for you without you doing a thing. The signs show up on their own, clear and impossible to miss. They are matches that fit your truth. Think of the signs you have gained. Suddenly, for no reason, you think of them and then you hear their name or see a hint. These are not random. They are waves of power. Then comes the quiet. When you focus on yourself and let go of rule, the world gives you moments of deep peace. This peace is the proof you are on the right track. The third sign is a clear outside proof. Maybe a stranger says something that only you and this person would know. These signs are so clear that luck cannot explain them. Even this note you are hearing right now is a sign. You are not here by luck. The world has picked this way to bring you clarity and to confirm the truth in your heart. Your job now is to tell the difference. If a sign makes you feel worried or fearful, it is your ego. If a sign brings you peace and strength, then it is a real sign of fate. Trust the path, trust the peace you feel. Forces are moving and truth is coming to the top in you and in the other person. All this leads to a single moment, the turning point. This shift will not be a quiet sign. It will be clear, direct, and real. It will be a note or an act that the other person can no longer keep inside. It will be the moment they give in to the link. Do not expect a small meeting or a weak sorry. Fate allows no reunion on a thin level. What comes is an act of clarity. This person will come forward with the words they have carried for a long time. Their act will be an admission that they could never quiet your power. This will happen at the ideal time and not before. The ideal time is when both of you are ready to make it last. If it happened today, you might fall back into old ways. That is why the pause was needed. Your final job is to be ready to receive. This means tuning into a high power where this person finds the best version of you. If they come back and find you in dread or doubt, the old loops might repeat. But if they find you whole and calm, there will be no more doubt about the strength of your tie. To be ready, first let go of all specific hopes. The world knows how the moment should happen. Do not try to write the script. Second, let go of any anger. Anger stops the flow of power. Forgive their fleeing. It was part of the map for both of you to grow. Forgive and be free. Third, stay steady. Do not let the thrill pull you away from the peace you have built. Fate tells you the end of this quiet time is near. But the true prize is not just the return of this person. It is the shift you have gone through. Your growth is the promise that what returns will stay. Get ready to receive what is yours. We have walked this road from the first second to the meeting that is coming. And the final truth is this: your gut was never wrong. This person is meant for you. What you feel is not a whim or a passing meeting. It is something set in your life goal. Now you are finally learning to trust this feeling without fear. The peace that guides you is proof you are on the right track. And this person also feels this lead. They might be afraid or fixing cuts, but their path does not stop the map. Love from a higher spot is not lost. It grows stronger. It is cleaned by distance. It does not stay still. It shifts. And this shift is already happening. The pieces are starting to move. When this waking is done and fate has finished its work, then comes the union your heart has wanted. It will be a joining of two whole folks who have decided to shine their light together. It will be sturdy, clear, and pure. Never forget the world stands behind you. Your track is already written and this person has a spot in it. Stay in your light, stay in your peace, and trust the track. The reward is yours. As you stand on the edge of this new beginning, you must realize that the final step is not a physical arrival, but an emotional opening. The next part of your journey is the bridge between waiting and having. The universe is now moving from the phase of preparation to the phase of contact. You are currently in the most sensitive moment of the entire process because the energy is shifting from internal growth to external reality. This shift is like the moments before a storm breaks or the second before the sun rises. The air feels heavy with the weight of what is coming. You can feel it in your skin and in the way your heart beats faster for no apparent reason. This is the magnetic pull of the reunion starting to take hold. The next phase will require you to be the guardian of your own peace more than ever before. As the other person's soul begins to fully surrender, they will start to send out energetic ripples. You may feel sudden bursts of their emotion, unexpected waves of warmth, or a sudden sharp knowing that they are thinking of you. This is the bridge being built. Do not let these feelings throw you off balance. The next part of your story is about holding your center while the world around you begins to move. The manifestation of this connection will likely happen in a way that bypasses your logical expectations. The universe often uses the path of least resistance. It might be a digital message that feels like a bolt of lightning, a phone call in the middle of a quiet afternoon, or a face-to-face meeting in a place you both used to go. The next part of this process is the test of the old self. When they reach out, your old fears will try to speak. Your ego will want to ask 1,000 questions or demand to know where they have been. But the next step requires you to speak from your new, healed essence. The person coming back is looking for the light they felt within you, not the shadow of the past. Your task in this coming time is to stay open, but not desperate. You are no longer the person who was waiting to be saved. You are the person who saved themselves during the silence. This makes you a powerful partner rather than a dependent one. The next part of this connection is about building a new language together, one based on truth and transparency rather than fear and hiding. You must also prepare for the energy of the return. When two people who have been apart for growth finally come back together, the intensity can be overwhelming. The next stage is not just about a happy greeting, it is about the merging of two evolved souls. You will notice that the conversations feel different. The silence between you will no longer feel empty or heavy, but full of a shared understanding that needs no words. This is the result of the work you both did while you were apart. The next part of this journey is the actualization of your destiny. It is the moment where the spiritual promise becomes a physical fact. You will look back at this time of waiting and realize that every second of distance was a brick used to build the house you are about to live in. The universe is finishing the final touches on the timing. Your only job right now is to remain in a state of high vibration and gratitude. Act as if the reunion has already happened, for in the eyes of the higher consciousness, it is already done. The space between now and then is just a small blink in time. Stay ready, stay calm, and keep your heart wide open, for the next part is the one you have been dreaming of. As you stand on the edge of this new start, you must see that the final step is not a physical arrival, but a heart opening. The next part of your trip is the bridge between waiting and having. The world is now moving from the stage of getting ready to the stage of meeting. You are currently in the most sensitive second of the whole path because the power is shifting from inner growth to outer reality. This shift is like the moments before a storm breaks or the second before the sun comes up. The air feels heavy with the weight of what is on the way. You can feel it in your skin and in the way your heart beats faster for no clear reason. This is the pull of the meeting starting to take hold. The next phase will ask you to be the guard of your own peace more than ever before. As the other person's soul begins to fully give in, they will start to send out ripples of energy. You may feel sudden bursts of their mood, stray waves of warmth, or a sudden sharp knowing that they are thinking of you. This is the bridge being built. Do not let these feelings knock you over. The next part of your story is about keeping your balance while the world around you begins to move.